Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this morning's update on Tropical Storm Erin. Tropical Storm Erin is nearly a hurricane with 70-mile-per-hour winds, west-northwesterly movement, and a minimum central pressure of 998 millibars as of this morning. And taking a look at our latest satellite imagery, Tropical Storm Erin is looking very healthy on infrared satellite, and it already looks like it is acquiring those hurricane characteristics with a solid core of interconvection, clouds fanning out, and a lot of feeder bands. Taking a look at our latest cone as we go into 1 p.m. this afternoon, we're expecting Hurricane Erin with 80-mile-per-hour winds, 100-mile-per-hour gusts. Going into 1 a.m. tonight, 90-mile-per-hour winds, 115-mile-per-hour gusts. We're expecting Erin to become a Category 2 hurricane as we go into tomorrow afternoon with 105-mile-per-hour winds and 125-mile-per-hour gusts. As we go into tomorrow evening, we're expecting a major hurricane with 115-mile-per-hour winds, 140-mile-per-hour gusts. As we go into Sunday afternoon, 125-mile-per-hour winds, 155-mile-per-hour gusts. And now we're expecting a Category 4 major hurricane as we go into 1 a.m. Monday morning with 130-mile-per-hour winds, 160-mile-per-hour gusts, beginning to make that northward curve going into 1 a.m. on Tuesday, 125-mile-per-hour winds, 155-mile-per-hour gusts. And then as we go into 1 a.m. on Wednesday morning, 120-mile-per-hour winds, 150-mile-per-hour gusts, beginning to move to the north. So taking a look at the latest model guidance for Erin, the GFS is pretty much in line with the cone, and we see a lot of rain bands in the Northern Lesser Antilles as we go into Friday and Saturday, even Sunday, especially across Puerto Rico, before we see Erin rapidly intensify and make that northward curve into Monday and Tuesday. The latest GFS model continues to pass Erin between Bermuda and the east coast of the United States, not really bringing much in the way of impacts to the United States, but to Bermuda, we could be seeing some pretty powerful winds and outer bands on the eastern side as we go into Wednesday. And then as we go into Thursday and Friday, the latest GFS trend has been trending Erin closer and closer to Newfoundland, and we could be seeing major impacts across southeastern Newfoundland as we go into Friday. So we're going to have to watch this very closely for my friends in Newfoundland before moving out and eventually moving into Greenland as we go into Sunday. Taking a look at the latest European model solution, pretty much in line with the GFS, bringing a lot of heavy rain to the Northern Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands as we go into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Euro brings Erin a little closer to the Turks and Caicos as we go into Monday, bringing some heavy rain to the Turks and Caicos on Monday, makes that abrupt northward turn as we go into Monday and Tuesday, passes directly between Bermuda and the east coast of the United States. The Euro continues to get a little bit closer to the east coast of the United States, although far enough out to sea to not bring any major impacts to areas like North Carolina and Virginia. As we go into Wednesday night, and Thursday, Bermuda, on the other hand, could be seeing a lot of heavy rainfall and gusty winds due to the close passage of Erin as we go into Thursday. And then as we go into a Friday, European model also brings major impacts to southeastern Newfoundland. So I think if you live in southeastern Newfoundland, you need to be making your hurricane preparations, as we're seeing model agreement that you're going to be seeing some major impacts now from Hurricane Erin into Friday and Saturday. And then taking a look at our Canadian model, a Canadian also shows Lessar Antilles getting a lot of rain bands, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, as we go into Friday and Saturday. Rapid intensification, seeing a little bit east of the Turks and Caicos in the Canadian model. And the Canadian model brings impacts to Bermuda as well. And the Canadian also has trended a little closer to Newfoundland as we go into Friday. So I would say the biggest threat from Erin is going to be to Newfoundland. Taking a look at our watches and warnings, We now have tropical storm watches for the northern Lesser Antilles in areas like St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua, Barbuda, and St. Martin. And closing off with our projected rainfall accumulations, we're now expecting 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, or 50 to 100 millimeters of rainfall, across areas of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, northern Lesser Antilles in the dark green area, 50 to 100 millimeters of rainfall, and then up to 1 to 2 inches, or 25 to 50 millimeters in the Turks and Caicos Islands as well. So I'm going to continue to monitor Erin over the next several days. Make sure you're preparing for tropical storm conditions if you live in the northern Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, even the Turks and Caicos, Bermuda, and especially if you live in southeastern Newfoundland. Make sure you're preparing for potential hurricane impacts as we go into Friday and Saturday. Thanks for watching. Please stay safe and have a wonderful day, my friends.